Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Saggy, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. I pray that the messages that are coming through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. Your key to the week this week is the Judgment card. Are you ready for change? Whether you are or are you not, it's coming, okay? That's the thing with the Judgment card. Whenever this card shows up, it does suggest that things are going not even sideways. It doesn't have to be bad. It just usually means that it's like you're switching tracks. There's two transits in astrology that kind of show up as this card. One is a Mercury retrograde, or actually technically any planetary retrograde, because it tends to bring things from the past back into the present. Also, it's a very similar energy actually to an eclipse, because it tends to be a point at which things change, things shift. And you guys have had some really heavy weeks over the last few weeks. So this, I believe, is the change point. This is where things are going to start to move in a different direction. It's likely to be where things get a little bit lighter and a little bit easier for you as well. If you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit the subscribe button. So look at that. All right. Now, for the first thing that we see, what do we see? We've got two kings. Two kings represents minor council, which means this is very likely to be a week where you are having meetings, where you're having sit downs, where you're connecting with people. What do we also see here as well? Two kings and a queen. This suggests that there are a lot of what's happening with around you or for you this week may have a lot to do with the interpersonal, but it's like this isn't a week where you are totally in control. And that doesn't mean that you don't get to say what's happening in your life. It just means a lot of what you're doing seems to be contingent on other people, or is needing to be backed up or verified or, even vetoed by other people. So this is going to be a week where a lot of what's happening, there's a lot of people stuff going on. There's a lot of interactions and connections with others taking place. And then look at this. I mean, so you've got the King of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and the Four of Cups. That's three water cards with a little bit of earth here with the King of Pentacles. So for your actions and options, you've got the King of Cups with the Judgment card. Although this is about your actions and options, what you're doing this week, that King of Cups suggests that you are getting very deep with yourself, or getting really real with yourself about what your next steps are. This could also be interaction with a Scorpio person, likely to be a Scorpio male, but doesn't have to be. It also suggests to me that this is a week where some creative urge or endeavor is really being ignited within you, and this might come about through a conversation of some sort. The feeling that I get from it is like you have a conversation, maybe something takes place, and then you just kind of not lose it, but there's something in you that snaps and you say, right, you know what, fuck this, I'm going to get creative and I'm going to make something else happen here. So there is big, profound change happening, but it looks like you are the instigator of that because of an external situation. Yes, bitch. Saggies are not here to play. That Sag energy is back in the building, y'all. All right, so then you've got the King of Pentacles, and this is in your communications and conversations, okay? You got this with the Judgment card. When it comes to life in general, or should I say communications in general, this week, and Saggies you guys are very much soothsayers, sages, and also, what's the other word that I'm looking for? Truth sayers. All right, like sometimes even when we wish you weren't, you guys tend to be very, like, what you see is what you get, like you'll get the truth. However, this week you are very much like, I want the facts. Don't embellish. Don't make it more than it is. Don't give me, you know, subterfuge and all the rest of it. Just tell me what it is, what it isn't, how it's going to work, how it's not going to work. And because you've got this card here with the King of Pentacles, there's like a meeting here, there's a sit down, there's a get together, there's looking over paperwork, documentation, there's looking at the resources of something as well. What is this going to cost? What is this, you know, what are the real world implications over the long haul? When it comes to those of you that are students and or studying, this could literally be maybe, you know, for the first 3 years of your degree, it's all been about sports science. And then at the last minute you say, actually, no, you know what? I want to go into law. There's something here where it's like you've done something for a really long time. And now all of a sudden you're switching it and you're going in a completely different direction to what you set out on. When it comes to your those of you that are employed by somebody else, this could be a rising up the ranks or an ascension in some way, but it's not going to be without its challenges. And a part of that is because what you're trying to do is change the status quo, and it doesn't look like it's going to be an easy fit. This is kind of like, you know, when you're a kid and you couldn't fit something in the right hole, so you just kind of force it in and then it would get stuck and you'd have to go and get one of your parents to either get it out, or, you know, it'd end up breaking the toy or whatever. This is one of those weeks, but on a communication sort of level. When it comes to those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, this is really, quite frankly, this is you changing or looking into ways to change your revenue stream. How you make your money is about to go through a massive upheaval in some way, or certainly come into a change. When it comes to those of you that are retired and no longer working, I think this is you looking at the practicalities of the life that you have at the moment and asking yourself whether it actually works. And again, this is all through some sort of conversation that you have that makes you see something in a very different light. Now, for your love and relations, for those of you that are single, you could be meeting a Scorpio person. So Scorpio people in some way, shape or form feature for you this week. The Judgment card with a water sign card tends to be Scorpio energy. Not always, but tends to. This with the Queen of Cups, for those of you that are single, it could be a Scorpio that you're meeting. For those of you that are looking, this could also be somebody either from your past or somebody that reminds you of somebody that you've dated previously. You know, they could have traits that are really nurturing, that are really nourishing, that are really spiritual, that you feel very drawn to. But there is something about it that almost makes you uneasy, because it's like, okay, I've already dated you. I know I have. Maybe not specifically you, but somebody like you. And I don't know whether this means I should pursue it or whether I shouldn't. Remember, it is the Judgment card. And like I said, it has that planetary retrograde kind of energy to it. For those of you that are partnered, married, in long-term commitments, really loving this for you guys, actually. There is a newfound sense of this path wasn't chosen by us, but it is definitely one that has been gifted to us, and so we're going to have to follow it, which means for a select few of you, this could be surprise pregnancy. For some of you, this could, you know, it doesn't have to be, you know, this could also be a friend or a family member comes to you and says, look, I really need help with this thing. And this is why I say, like, there's something about this. It's like maybe there's something that's put in yours and the partner's lap that wasn't chosen by you, but it was chosen for you. And it's kind of like this thing is going to fall in your lap. And when it does, it's like, okay, I don't really know what to do with it, but I'm going with it. For those of you that are... for your money and materials, you got the Four of Cups, especially with the Judgment card. There is big change coming to the resources at the moment, but you have to keep the lines of communication open with the universe. If you're struggling with your money, if you're struggling with your abundance, this is a time where you really are being asked to switch on that internal tap, or to do what I like to call it, shaking the web. All right, if you imagine the universe as one big massive web of interconnected everything, and when you shake that web, pennies fall from heaven. There's a million ways that I could explain this. I don't have time to put it all in this video. Maybe, just maybe, you want to take my course. I will be explaining that to all of the students that are on Mindset Magic in greater detail. But yeah, that's one way that you could tap into the flow of abundance right now. The other thing that I want to say as well, you could be called upon financially to play assistance to somebody in your family. So this might be somebody, it could be that somebody in your family or your closest ties wants to support you financially and is offering some kind of support in that regard. But it could just as easily be that you are called upon in a financial capacity to assist either a mother, a family member, etc. When it comes to your, physical health and vitality, this is going to be your stomach. If you've had recurring stomach and or digestive issues, I'm not a doctor, I can't give you medical advice, but if you've had recurring stomach or digestive system issues, this week it really is going to be very important that you focus on your diet. When it comes to your home and environment, it's a weird one, because this for me feels like you're breaking a tie with a current place. And usually when that kind of energy comes through, and I know this very well because it's something that I've experienced myself, all the times that I've moved away from my hometown, I've always ended up back here for some reason or another. And I knew that this time, when I leave, not that I have, but when I leave, I know that this time it will be the last time, because I've fulfilled what I was supposed to do here. This could be a week where you have a realization about the area that you're living in and the reason that you're there. And once you have it, once that cracks, it's like it will be the breaking of the thing that's holding you to the place that you're in. Very, very powerful, very profound week for a lot of you, I think. Very exciting. Let me know in the comments if it's not too personal. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon. And obviously, because of this whole a lot of people in it, if you're breaking ties with an area, it means that whatever contracts and or karma you had with the people in your life in the place that you are, this is where it ends. Yeah, just big week. With that said, take care, and I'll speak to you soon.